Before the Sith were a galactic menace, before the Jedi were mythologized as protectors of peace, there was a war that changed everything, the Great Hyperspace War. And it wasn't just a battle of fleets and planets, it was a clash of ideology, ambition, and ancient power. This war ignited when two seemingly ordinary hyperspace explorers, Gav and Jori Daragon, made a fateful jump into the unknown and landed in the heart of a forgotten empire. But to understand how we got there, we have to go back even further. Long before the Daragon's journey, a group of rogue Jedi, seduced by the allure of the dark side, waged a terrible war against their brothers and sisters. These dark Jedi were defeated and cast out, but exile did not mean death. Instead, they found a remote world, Korriban, where they encountered a native species already attuned to dark force energies. These exiles didn't conquer, they were worshipped. And thus, the Sith Empire was born. A society forged by dark Jedi overlords and a willing population steeped in sorcery, alchemy, and dark side mysticism. This civilization expanded and thrived in isolation, cut off from the Republic by distant and forgotten star routes. It became an empire of shadows, ruled by the iron-fisted Dark Lord of the Sith, Marka Ragnos. Fast forward to the twilight years of the Old Republic's Golden Age. The Republic was growing, but the galaxy remained largely unmapped. Hyperspace routes were still being discovered. Gav and Jori Daragon, brother and sister, were among the brave or foolish souls who staked their lives on uncharted jumps. Freelancers, smugglers, and part-time navigators, they struggled to make ends meet, relying on only instinct and luck. When a bad run left them broke and desperate, they did something crazy. They stole their own impounded ship, the Starbreaker 12, and made a wild hyperspace jump. Right into the Sith Empire. And that is where our story unfolds. At the time, the Sith were in turmoil. Marka Ragnos, the greatest Dark Lord of the age, had died. His death left a power vacuum that sparked a civil conflict. Two powerful Sith Lords rose to fill the void. Ludo Kressh, a traditionalist, wanted to preserve the isolationist Sith ways. But Naga Sadow, a visionary and warmonger, believed conquest of the Republic was key to unifying the Sith. When the Daragons crash landed on Korriban during Ragnos' funeral, it was a galactic-level coincidence. To the Sith, the arrival of the two Republic outsiders was a sign, one interpreted in very different ways. Ludo Kressh called for their execution, fearing exposure to the outside galaxy. Sadow, however, always the manipulator, saw opportunity. He secretly helped Gav and Jori escape imprisonment, staged a false rescue, and framed the Republic agents for their extraction. At the next Sith Council meeting, Naga Sadow spun a dangerous narrative. He planted evidence suggesting that the Republic had attacked, using Gav and Jori Daragon as scapegoats. To drive the point home, he orchestrated a false flag attack on his own forces, making it appear as though the Republic had already struck. This deception rallied the Sith Lords to his cause. War was now inevitable. He took the Daragons to his personal fortress. There he began a subtle seduction of Gav, feeding him lies, half-truths, and power. While Jori remained skeptical, Gav began to succumb to the dark allure of Sith knowledge. Sadow's real plan, however, was to use Gav as a puppet to navigate the Republic, sow discord, and pave the way for an all-out invasion. With Kressh dealt a false blow, his fleet ambushed and his life presumably ended, Naga Sadow was crowned Dark Lord of the Sith. The Sith war machine stirred. Huge fleets, dark sorcery, and alien warriors like the Masasi were mobilized. It was no longer theory. The Sith were coming. Meanwhile, Jori, realizing the deception, escaped in the Starbreaker 12, returning to the Republic with a dire warning. It was almost too late. The Sith invasion struck hard and fast. Sadow used illusion and dark side trickery to multiply his forces, attacking Republic systems with ferocity. Gav, now conflicted, found himself on the wrong side. When he discovered Sadow's manipulations and lies, he rebelled. In a final act of defiance and redemption, Gav transmitted the location of Sadow's secret base to the Republic before meeting his end. Jori led the Republic's counterattack, and in a climactic space battle, Sadow's illusions were pierced, his forces overwhelmed, and the Sith war effort shattered. Sadow fled to exile, retreating to the jungle moon of Yavin 4, where he went into hibernation, waiting for the dark side to rise again. And rise it would. The Republic, having barely survived the assault, began to strengthen its borders. The Jedi, now fully aware of the Sith's continued existence, became vigilant once more. But the Sith were not gone. The embers of the Golden Age continued to smolder beneath the surface of the galaxy, waiting for a new vessel to ignite them. The Golden Age of the Sith wasn't just a time of power and darkness. It was a pivotal chapter in galactic history, a reminder that even forgotten empires can shake the stars when fate and folly collide. In our next entry, we will continue to discuss the tales of ancient Jedi Knights through the legacy of the Sith, before the Sith returned again. So if you're enjoying this chronological voyage through Star Wars history, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to join the Holocron Archive. Until then, may the Force guide your path through the stars.